With Medicare already on the financial critical list, the government says that con artists are draining the lifeblood out of it by filing millions of dollars in phony claims. Today, the Justice Department announced the biggest crackdown ever. 91 people were arrested in 8 U.S. cities coast to coast, charged with defrauding taxpayers of nearly $295 million. Our chief investigative correspondent, Armen Keteyian, tells us that the accused include doctors, nurses, and other healthcare workers.
As part of the coordinated strike by federal law enforcement, the government charged this Miami mental health clinic was set up for the sole purpose of committing Medicare fraud. 20 people were indicted here alone as part of the record nationwide bust, charged with bilking U.S. taxpayers out of more than $50 million in the last 4 years.
This massive fraud includes doctors and nurses who had a sworn duty to their patients, but yet they chose to breach that duty to line their own pockets.
In a 49-count indictment, the government essentially accused the clinic's owner, doctors, and staff of billing Medicare for services they never provided or patients didn't need, including paying and receiving kickbacks and bribes to, quote, brokers who steered people to the clinic just for their names and Medicare numbers, signing charts authorizing treatment for patients who are not eligible, often without examining the patients or charts, and altering files to make it falsely appear that patients attended group or individual therapy sessions when they had not. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder.
Our anti-healthcare fraud efforts have never been more innovative, collaborative, aggressive, or more effective.
Altogether, 8 cities were involved, stretching from New York to Los Angeles, resulting in more than 90 arrests and an unmistakable message.
We will continue to rely on the dedicated agents, investigators, prosecutors, and law enforcement officials involved in today's takedown. By working together, we can and we will win the fight against healthcare fraud.
The raids come after a big bust back in February involving about 100 people and $225 million in suspected fraud. But the fact remains, healthcare fraud is a very lucrative business, Scott.
Thanks, Armen. We wondered how big of a bite con artists are taking out of the overall healthcare budget. The Government Accountability Office told us that 1 out of every $10 that Americans spend on healthcare is lost to fraudulent claims.